Welcome back. Today we're gonna talk about judgment. I'm Keith.
I'm Rodney, and you might be asking, why does my face look like that? Because the sun is in my eyes, and I'm tired. But this is the Daily Chronicle, which is something like the Rodney Tired Chronicles, in which Keith and I detail our journey. We're trying to just parse it out, break it down for our future selves, more importantly for our daughters, and to build some community with y'all, the viewers, and judgment.
Yeah.
I am used to be a very judgy person, but I didn't realize it until recently.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me too. And interestingly enough, that judgment also causes me to fear judgment or worry about judgment, right? And it's one of these things that I think about a lot.
Hold on, Rue. Wait.
A lot of reserved action, in other words, not doing things, is as a result of fear of judgment. And judgment, from the history of time, is the most justified action that leads to more caustic relationships between groups and individuals than anything else, in my opinion. Judgment's written into scripture. Judgment is written into laws. Judgment, and I'm not talking about the systematic approach to saying you hurt somebody so you should be punished, or that's a different conversation on punishment versus rehabilitation. But our willingness to judge prevents the ability to actually connect, because we want to judge faster than we do connect.
Yeah.
And I like talking about it because I still struggle with it. Like, I'm quick to say, oh yeah, no, I'm not going any farther with this because I'm going to judge this moment instead of the real person who you are, by getting to know you and understanding you, regardless of the things that you said in the first meeting that we had.
And much like bias, or in my opinion, judgment has a place.
It does.
It saves time, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way.
Yeah.
Actually, they're very commingled. Bias leads to judgments.
Yeah.
And there are situations that you shouldn't be in or should be in. You got to make judgment calls. I think maybe we need this is where the limits of English language, I think, come in.
I would agree.
Making decisions and judgment, like it's literally I'm making judgment calls all day. It's like, am I? I don't know. But not the same as what you're talking about right now.
Right. I'm talking about judging people. Judging people based on limited information and passing broad sweeping judgments of their character based on limited information.
Yeah.
Right? You have a call with a coworker and they're in a bad mood because they just didn't get enough sleep and they were short with you. All of a sudden they're an asshole. Right? That bad driver driving down the street, all of a sudden they cut you off, and they must be a dick.
Which is just an inaccurate. Like, we don't do well with moments. Like, they did something asshole-ish. They did something dickish.
Right.
Doesn't mean that they are. And like that's just an improper. It's just an improper assertion of what's going on. Hey, Ruby, will you ride, please?
And while it is a human, it is a shortcut for interaction, right? Like, there are a lot of people and we have to decide who we're going to give time to in any given day. But at the same time, those judgments really lead to a lot of the division that we see, the inability to have conversations, the inability to connect, the inability to really drive to a more productive collective living experience, simply because we're going to pass judgment so we can move forward with our day. And listen, to me, this goes to social. This is a social construct and a biological construct. And like you said, it's like bias. Be aware of it and pass through it, understand it's happening, and give a person a second chance, a third chance, a fifth
We
chance
gotta keep going.
before
Gotta keep
we
going.
completely judge their character, write them off, and then lose the opportunity for a connection that might be valuable to you or to the people around you, just because you give it a little more space.
Yeah, and I think it's, like, just be aware. Like, that's the hard part. I mean,
It is.
bias drives our, like, I don't think judgment's the issue. It's our biases that drive the judgments and drive the, oh, I don't hang out with black people. Oh, I don't hang out with white people. Like, it's typically not super on the surface. That's usually pretty down in there. And the awareness part is the hard part. Like, it is not just be aware. Like, that's the whole game, actually.
Yeah.
So it's the work to become aware.
Yeah.
That is the thing.
Yeah.
That you got to start with.
So I know for me, it hasn't always been easy to not pass judgment. And I just have put a lot of work into personal judgment first, like how I judge myself, in an effort to judge others less. I don't know. How do you look at judgment? How do you manage your judgment of others? Any tips? Any tricks? That's to you, watcher.